prepared to not only explain it, but to demonstrate it. And they did hire me. And I was very, very happy to be hired. And I think it was a good choice for me, especially, maybe for the school, but certainly for me. I've had a number of other choices. I had a choice to go down to Birmingham Groves 11 years ago, and I coached my 6th All-State center. I never would have coached him if I had stayed here. It was really a joy to coach him. 4 of the 5 All-State centers that I coached here at Brother Rice are here today. John Shasky and Tim Andre and Paul Jokic and Will Franklin are here today. Will Franklin in 75, graduated in 75, 2-year All-Stater. John Shasky and Paul Jokic were actually, Paul was a forward, but he was really side of the center. They were All-Staters in 1982. They were juniors when I left here in 1981. And our first All-Stater was Mike Busher, 1971. And Will Franklin, Tim Andre was the All-State center and an All-American center in 1979, and then went to Notre Dame. You know, it's kind of funny. They were all a part of winning teams. And my captains here from the second team that I coached, Tom McEvoy and Terry Finner here, that was in the graduating class of 1966. Tom came in from Tacoma, Washington, where he's a dentist, and Terry came in from Boston, where he's an attorney. I'm so happy to see them. They don't remember what their high school record was. I do. My first year coaching, we were 9 and 10. I coached all summer with these guys. We played Andover and Groves and Seattle and Gloucester and Hazel Park and Boston. We beat them all. We were 21 in the summertime. I expected to be that way during the school year. We were 7 and 11 guys. So I started out 9 and 10 and 7 and 11. My last 2 years at Groves, we were 2 and 19 and 5 and 17. I like to think that I did as good a job in 1964 and 65, 65 and 66. In the last 2 years at Groves, as I did with any of these teams that won. It's not so much about winning. It's about that philosophy of doing the right thing, doing the best you can, following the golden rule. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you doing it excellent? I'm so happy to see you, Tom, today. I'm so happy to see you, Terry. Terry, probably if he had had a better coach, he played at Yale. He was captain of Yale's team. He played there for 4 years. He might have been our first All-State center. The choices that I made were important, and all of you are important to me. But none of you are as important to me as my favorite Brother Rice student, Anita Hunter. My son graduated from Brother Rice in 1992, and he wasn't really all that athletic. I made him participate in Bob Stark's cross-country program. He didn't really want to, and then he got into theater in his junior and senior year, and of all time, he's my favorite. The best decision I ever made was about the time I came here. It wasn't to apply for a teaching and coaching job at Brother Rice. It was to ask Vivian Borowski to marry me. That was 43 years ago. Pretty good, eh? I didn't think I'd get emotional. Frankie kind of jumped me. I was going to recite the road not taken from memory. And I had somewhat forgotten about Teddy Roosevelt's "The Credit Belongs to the Man Who Was Actually in the Arena." I memorized a lot of poetry. When I came over here 11 years ago, when I left here 11 years ago to go over to Groves, it was a tough decision, and I memorized the Rudyard Kipling program. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming on you, you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. You can wait, not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hate, and yet don't look too good or talk too wise. If you can dream, not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster, treat these two impostors just the same. If you can bear the word, to hear the words you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, watch the things you gave your life to broken, stoop and build them up again with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose, start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will that says to them, hold on. I'm not going to finish this because I've said the final part of it that I wanted to say. I'm a little jealous of Coach Vertassen. And I'm a little jealous of the fact that he's got to pick up the pieces that got strewn apart this afternoon. They lost a triple overtime game to Orchard Lake St. Mary's, a traditional rival. And you know what? It isn't about winning and losing. It's about what you're going to do now. It's about what you're going to do now, Coach Vertassen. And I know what you're going to do. You're going to do the right thing. And you do the best you can. And you're going to be aware of the fact that your players need their coach to hold his head up high and to be strong. And they trust you, and they're going to have to keep trusting you. I do this now with a phys ed class, and I'm enjoying it. But I do miss the coach, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But I probably am not going to coach again. I want to finish with two last things. In 1972, my dad was a great, great fan of his son's athletic career. My athletic career wasn't all that great. The best athletic game I ever played in was at last year recreation, and I was 19 years old. It was St. Florence in a basketball game for the CYO minors at Jason Parish. That was my best athletic game. My dad was there, and to hear him talk about it, you would think I was Bill Walton or something, but I scored 5 points in that game. But we did win. We did win a city championship. My dad came to all of our games, and he probably, I don't know if there's anybody in this room who hates to lose as much as I do. My dad hated to lose more than I did. And he was standing next to Bill McCartney, the legendary football coach from Michigan and Colorado, starter of Promise Keepers. And my dad and Bill McCartney were in the balcony at Birmingham Seaholm, and Danny Damiani hit a shot against Birmingham Seaholm and won. And Bill was I used to call him every day as Divine South, 562-4818, that's the number of the coach's office, Divine South. And we shared thoughts and ideas. And he said, you know, your dad was really proud last night. And I said, what did he say to you, Bill? He said, well, it's about time, he said, they finally won a big game. And this was in 1972, so it took a while. From 64 to 72, we played in a lot of big games. Don Ewert won, Don McElwain at Chrysler Arena, and we lost 72 to 67. You scored 32 points on 17 shots. When you're coach, you remember all these things, that they're dramatic moments, and you don't forget. Two of my most meaningful experiences are recent, and they came here at Brother Rice. Two of the former players that I had, Judd Hart and Brian Henry, were selected as inductees or honorees as the Distinguished Alumni of the Year. There's been a lot of graduates at Brother Rice, and they were honored at Bloomfield Hills, and they asked me to introduce them. And I feel that what I tried to communicate to you is that the players that are here, I knew you then, I cared about you then, and I know you now, and I care about you now, and thanks for the opportunity.